guys! Welcome back to a new recipe video. I thought it would be fun to make vegan junk food at home. Some meals are gonna be healthier junk food, some a lot less healthy. There's some deep frying going on in this video, I'm just warning you now. Support for today comes from Skillshare. Okay, let's get right into this. This first recipe is my version of one of my favorite falafel sandwiches to get in Berlin, a peanut falafel sandwich. Grab a food processor and add 1 small red onion, 2 cloves of garlic, a can of chickpeas, fresh parsley, peanut butter. I don't think they add that at the restaurant, but I thought it would be a nice add-in. You can substitute this with tahini, chili flakes, cumin, smoked paprika, white wine vinegar, and salt. Blend it all up, and then add in the cornstarch you forgot. You want to blend it until not quite smooth. You can let this mixture rest on the fridge or on the counter while you make the peanut sauce. Sauté an onion and a clove of garlic in a teaspoon of oil for about 6 minutes on medium-high. I also added some chili flakes, but that's optional. Then add a cup of peanut butter and let it melt down a bit. Lastly, pour in some vegetable broth. A bit more to thin it out if needed. Take it off the heat, pour the mixture into the now cleaned out food processor and blend it until smooth. Then season it to taste with lemon juice, salt, and pepper. Back to the falafels, form the mixture into patties or nuggets, and have a plate ready with some cornstarch. This was a bit much. A light coat like this is enough. Now we're pan frying these, but adding a lot more oil than I usually would. I have a recipe for baked falafels linked down below if that's more your style. Add enough frying oil to cover the entire pan. It's about like 2 centimeters deep. Turn the heat up all the way. Check with a wooden spoon to see if the oil is hot enough. That means once bubbles are forming around the wooden spoon, that's how you know. Then let the falafels fry until golden brown. For me, that took 1 to 2 minutes on either side.
Keeping tradition with your father's permission. Will you wear this ring like a tattoo?
And then serve them immediately with tomato slices, onion rings, greens, of course the pitas, and the peanut sauce.
Get me by for a lifetime. Girl, you make me wanna stand in a suit.
They're so good.
In front of
Moving on to these loaded fries with vegan beef. For maximum crisp, I cut them into really thin pieces. I'd say about half a centimeter of thickness. Many sources online say to make the fries come out as crispy as possible, you just have to soak them in water before baking them. At least for an hour, but overnight works too. After they're done soaking, lay them out on a dish towel in 1 layer, pat them dry, and let them dry until they're super dry, or as dry as possible, because we don't really want moisture in these anymore. While the potatoes are doing their thing, preheat the oven to 200 degrees Celsius and get started on the tofu. Pat your firm plain tofu dry with a dish towel. Try squeezing out the moisture, but it's okay if there's still some water in this, so no need for a tofu press here. Crumple up the tofu in a bowl. and add all the remaining ingredients. 1 minced onion and 1 clove of garlic, fresh parsley, white wine vinegar, soy sauce, mustard, salt, and cornstarch. You really want to get your hands in there and knead the tofu like you would bread, and then set this aside. This mix can be prepped the night before as well. For our sauce, simply combine about a tablespoon of vegan mayo and about a tablespoon of ketchup with a bit of white wine vinegar. Now back to our now pretty much dry potatoes. Add them to a pot in case you don't have any clean bowls left, along with vegetable oil and the seasonings of your choice. I just used smoked paprika and salt. Place the fries in one layer on 2 baking sheets that are lined with parchment paper. Now these go into the oven for 30 to 33 minutes. The bottom sheet will obviously take a few minutes longer. Now for the tofu, all that needs to be done is cooking it on medium-high in a teaspoon of oil for about 8 to 12 minutes. Towards the end, let's say after minute 7, add in a splash of soy sauce and a tablespoon of sweetener. And now finally, assemble! Fries, tofu crumbles, vegan cocktail sauce, and additional toppings. I prepared parsley, red onion, and tomato. This next meal is more on the healthier side when it comes to fast food, a Chipotle Style Burrito Bowl. Now, I've been to Chipotle once in my lifetime, so this is not supposed to be like a copycat meal, but I think it's somewhat like it, and it still tastes pretty good. Dice up a red bell pepper, an onion, and a clove of garlic. Season with cumin, paprika, salt, and pepper. Also make sure to cook up some rice or any other starch of your choice. If you have some sort of vegan meat alternative at home, you can add that. This one tasted very underwhelming, but yeah, let that cook for another 5 minutes or so before adding black beans, corn if you like, and a bit of ketchup. Season everything to taste with salt and pepper. By this point, the rice should be ready, the tortilla warmed, and then all that's left to do is assemble your bowl. Top it off with lots of guac, of course. Last but not least, we're making something sweet, churros. Honestly, I would advise against making this recipe. Having almost unlimited churro access at home can be very dangerous. To a big pot, add vegan butter, salt, vanilla, and water. It is totally cool to just melt down the butter after you've added the water. That's not what I did, but that's safer that way. Let everything come to a boil once the water is in the pan, and then add in the flour. Turn down the heat to low and mix it all together with a wooden spoon. Then pour in the non-dairy milk. Mix it all up until you have a smooth ball of dough. Take the pot from the heat, wait until the dough is not too hot to touch anymore, and then you can form this dough into the churro shapes. Squeeze out little churros beforehand because the dough is going to get harder once it cools down, so it's easier to have the churros ready in shape before frying them. My star tip is tahini. That's why mine turned out super skinny. If you don't care about the shape, just form it into whatever shape you desire. Now on to the deep frying. Grab a small soup pot. You won't have to fill up the entire pot with oil. I think that's just a waste. I added in enough so it was about 5 centimeters or 2 inches deep. Then once again, turn the heat up all the way. Wait until the oil is hot enough for bubbles to start forming around a wooden spoon, and then add the churros. These actually took between 10 and 12 seconds to be done because mine were so super skinny, so depending on the size of your churros, they obviously will take longer or shorter. I overcooked so many of those in the beginning. Also, using a regular spoon is not the safest way to remove them from the pot. Use one of those tongs. Get rid of excess oil by placing them on a paper towel. And then also mix together raw sugar and cinnamon to make cinnamon sugar. Cover the churros with the sugar. Have some melted chocolate ready. And then dip them into the chocolate before serving. And there you have it. These are so good and so bad for you. I love them. I hope you enjoyed these recipes. Let me know what you think of them in the comments. Big thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is an online community with over 25,000 courses about pretty much any topic that exists. These courses give you the chance to become better at any skill. If you love cooking, for example, and want to learn how to cut veggies like a chef properly, not like me, check out the Knife Skills class by Ilana Karp. She teaches you so much in a class that's only 12 minutes long, including important information such as knife safety. I would definitely recommend you check it out. The premium membership starts at €8 a month, and the first 500 people to sign up with the link below get their first 2 months for free. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you soon. Bye!